Well, welcome back, everyone. Here we are, the final day of League here on Zelda Speedruns today. We have one of the last two matches of Season 3 of the NMG League. We've got Willi versus PH with Skipsy and Yurok on the mic. How are you two doing?
Yo, how's it going?
And as was
Hi.
said, it's almost not League. Hooray! Wait, what? Hold on. That's not right.
Pretty sad, right?
All right, I will
Yeah.
hand it over to you two, and we will get this underway shortly.
Yo, well, thank you much. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, we've got a nice Eastern Palace finals coming up for you guys. Should be really exciting. As mentioned, our players are JaSpieleWilli and ph112358, which everybody knows as the Fibonacci guy. Skipsy, how are you doing today?
A bit tired, long day. Like, it's not morning for me. But I'm excited to watch this match. I recently met PH, so I'm excited how he is doing. And yeah, I know a bit how Willi is playing, so I'm excited to see this match.
Yeah, this is technically the finals of the Eastern Palace bracket. Both of these runners are 2-0. So it should be really exciting. PH is a 128 runner. Willi has a official posted PB of 127. Oh, I lost it somewhere. But I am told a 127.19. But I'm told that they've made some improvements, potentially offline. So we'll see how that affects things. Looks like we're just about ready to get started here.
And there we start. Let's go.
All right. Yeah,
Well, first room, just smashing, right?
That's right. Yeah, the first segment of this game, the escape sequence, it really needs no introduction. Like, there's a bunch of movement tech, but there's not a whole lot of like flashy stuff going on. We get to skip the first chest because we already know what it is.
It's a lamp.
Shoutouts to Rando.
But we will get the lamp right afterwards in Zelda Cell.
Right, there are like 3 locations you can pick it up.
3 locations, alright. Like I know 2, but I don't know.
Yeah, the other one's actually here in the Uncle escape corridor. There's also a lamp / 5 rupees. But that one's obviously like way out of the way, so we just never see that at all.
What's in there if you picked up the lamp before? Is it just rupees?
Yeah, just rupees. Same as the other one. So...
those are the biggest differences. I apologize.
Oh, go ahead.
Those are the biggest differences that we might see, like Willi just having to avoid the guards there for a few frames lost. Also,
yeah, like you see there, Willi had the green guard in his way and had to slash him down.
It was faster to slash him instead of just walking by it. That regard.
Yeah, on certain RNGs it is, because he can force you to go all the way around, or you know, even cause you to take a hit, which loses way more time than just slashing him. Now we go through the stealth sequence.
And
this is a tricky room. A tricky room to do really, really fast.
Also getting the good RNG on the green guard. He can walk to the left, and that's really terrible. At least it feels terrible, even though we just lose a couple of frames. But
yeah,
every time you see that, you're like, oh no, you can't.
Yeah, you hate to see it. Coming up, we have the first quote-unquote boss of the game, the ball and chain guard.
And it's truly boss. I think it's really difficult for casual players as well, trying to figure out how to beat them. And
Yeah, because you have such little
don't-
health. You can only take a maximum of 2 hits and still be okay.
Yes.
So
And it's also not like not every casual runner figures out or is like there's nothing that tells you that those pots do a lot of damage, right? So
right.
it's hard for people to figure that out. Like you would think that sword does a lot more damage, but hey, it's the other way around. The pot does 4 sword hits of damage.
Pots do what we like to call tempered sword damage, which is equivalent to 4 fighter sword slashes. We did see a difference of 8 slash versus 1 pot and 4 slashes, so that was nice. Both runners managing to take care of the ball and chain guard without any issues, which is good. So now we just do a little bit of backtracking. Oh, go ahead.
No, just saying it looked really clean. Normally it's around a few frames apart, the 1 pot strat versus the 8 slash, but it's really hard to capitalize on the 8 slash method. It's also hard to like get the 4 slashes in after the first pot, but yeah, more slashes,
Right.
harder strat.
That is true. It's a point. It's definitely like a justifiable position to say, like, in a race setting, I'm just gonna grab 1 pot and do 4 slashes because it can be a lot more consistent. Because it allows a lot fewer opportunities for the guard to kind of mess up your plans and make you lose time.
Also, some runners with really good PBs that also still utilize 1 pot, like 125 runners still do it. I don't know if 124 runners, like if there's one.
I know of one. I know Vivey has expressed that opinion from time to time.
It's not like there's no good or bad here, right? The one thing that makes Zelda speedruns, just like Super Metroid speedruns, really exciting is, in my opinion, that you can choose what you do, right? Like there's no set path for strats that you have to do. You can choose and pick whatever you like. And if you're comfortable with 1 pot strat and do it cleanly, then it's just as good as 8 slash. Right? So
agreed. Yeah, that is a really nice thing of this type of game, where it's a little more open-ended. It's not like a Mario game or a platformer where like there's really only one fast way through a level and you have to execute that plan every time. It's a little more open to interpretation.
It's always exciting to see certain runners do different strats. I personally am a huge fan of Joe D'Amelio. Like, I think my entire speedrun is a copy of trying to do his strats because, yeah, he has a certain way of like dealing with RNG scenarios, and that's really exciting to me.
Oh, agreed. I mean, there's a reason there's a bunch of room strats named after him, so. We've got just a couple of seconds separating these runners, leaving the first sequence. It looked like PH had a 554 escape. Willi had a 557. Yeah, 554 is quite good. I think most, even like 124 runners, if they get a 554, they're generally pretty happy with it.
I think the best escape I've ever seen was a 547, but I don't know how that's possible, to be honest. There are some magic secrets involved. I have to.
I'm with you right there. As somebody who has had a 549, 547s feel like black magic to me.
Oh wow, you had a 549? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Nice.
Nice boomerang, that Octorok.
Yeah, that was close. It could have been a hit, and that would also put Willi a bit more behind. But
yeah, those Octoroks do a whole heart of damage, so you don't want to You want to avoid
Yeah.
taking damage from them if at all possible. Nice rupee drop on PH's side. Throughout this dungeon, it's kind of open to what the runners want to do, but we will be looking to snag opportune rupee drops from some of the enemies as this dungeon goes on, because we do need. I believe that they'll be doing tree rupees. I don't think either of these runners do Saha rupees anymore.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
we want-
anybody does Zara's rupees even out of Eastern Palace. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen one. Like, it's just so established nowadays to pick up the 3 rupees.
Yeah, tree rupees are it seems daunting at first, but really it's not all that bad. It's just one sequence where you have to avoid taking damage while killing a few enemies. So it's fairly well planned out, and it's pretty easy to pick up once you understand what's going on. But you need when we get to the Dark World, we're gonna need 110 rupees to get into the Palace of Darkness. So we use those tree rupee pulls to get 95 of them, and then there's a few more rupees that we pick up in pots in the Hyrule Castle Tower. And so we just need 4 extra rupees to get everything we need. Every increments of 5 beyond that allow us to give us a little bit of extra buffer and allow us to potentially skip rupees that come out of the tree pulls that we don't need, which can save some time.
Yeah, we can adjust our route pretty nicely with determining how many rupee drops we actually got. So ph1 is fine, I'd argue. Like in worst case scenario, and there is no more rupee drops that are available, you can just pick up 4 blue rupees from the first tree pull, and then the next 4 red from the second tree pull, and get 5 rupees for free in Agate Tower. So he's set, I'd argue, if there were no rupee drops, but of course we want to have easy pickups, so we can avoid walking all the way at the first tree pull. That's probably the most significant one.
I like the way that PH adjusted to the RNG he got in that Stalfos and single ready room. Oh no, but then the Igor not agreeing with him, so we get a nice free red rupee pickup, so we're definitely set on money. Willi is able to capitalize on that, has a little bit cleaner of a room, and so now we're, I think, around a second apart going into this Armor's Knight fight.
Just the rupee difference will be Willi definitely needs some rupees. He might be tempted to pick up the 5 rupee pot in Desert, but maybe he also gambles on another rupee drop from Rupa.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that there's a 5 rupee in a pot in one of the rooms at Desert Palace, and given that picking up a pot only loses about 25 frames, it's probably the most worth. It's the best option because it's 1, consistent, 2, it's actually faster than if you see a rupee drop somewhere, especially if it's not directly in your path, it probably wastes more time waiting for the rupee to spawn and actually be able to be picked up. So we'll probably see that rupee pot on Willi's side.
I'm also a huge fan of the rupee pot. Even if I have 5 rupees, I'm also tempted to just pick it up.
Yep. Yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna say, is even if you're in that exact situation, you've got 5 already, you just pick up that rupee pot and get to 10 and don't worry about it anymore. And then it never fails that you get a nice gift of an extra 5 rupee in the Popo Genocide room, right in your path as you're leaving.
It means you can just skip more rupees at the first tree pull.
Yeah, we skipped over the first minor glitch of the game, which is called spin speed. I don't think either runner had a problem with it because they're both neck and neck coming into this room still. They're probably gonna do another one right here. So the way that this works is the game has problems when you try and do multiple things at the same time. In this case, we release a button to do a spin attack and push the A button on the same frame that we release the B button. And it causes us to go into this glitched state where the game thinks we have like the dashing flag set, and when we touch a staircase, it thinks that we're dashing off of the stairs and gives us higher movement speed, but it lets us continue to just walk around the map like normal without having to like turn and charge a dash and whatever. Only works in the 1.0 release of the Japanese version.
Yeah, it's one of the first things they fixed, right? So if you're trying to do it at home and you see, hey, I have English text boxes instead of Japanese, then you try to figure it out. How are they doing it? Why can't I do it? It's just because of the version difference. Yeah. Go to the Japanese one and probably play for it casually first, because this is a really good game. And
so much fun.
Next time you're replaying it and maybe play on the Japanese card, then you can try and figure it out.
Alright. Not a whole lot more interesting stuff going on here in Desert. We got lots of straight shots to explore our newfound Pegasus boots, which were the prize we got for beating Eastern Palace and talking to Sahasrara. You need to go pick up the big key. PH getting the bad both of them getting the bad cannonball RNG, but not doing too badly. Getting through it, having to redash only one time.
There's one more piece of tech that, while they're dashing through desert, really got hit there, because after when you dash through an enemy and you kill the enemy, you can't start slashing immediately first frame after the dash. So
I think PH had that problem as well. They both took a hit in that room.
Yeah, it's difficult to time, and that's what made both partners flinch. But it's something I heard about last year. I was always wondering why does this happen? Why can't I slash? And this is just some important piece of knowledge that maybe helps one of the.
Yeah, there's a weird lockout while if you dash through an enemy, you can't swing your sword again for like something like 4 frames, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it can get you if you're not ready for it or expecting. So you see PH actually did like a little bit of a wiggle there to take up that lockout time.
Also, one thing that we can also explain is that they are dashing through the doors, right? It's a so-called key dash, and it simply works by aligning with something. So we're on a so-called dash grid. So we're like every 4, like when we dash, we move 4 pixels, and we want to be distant to a door. That's probably hard for me to explain in English. I would leave that to you. Sorry.
Sure. Well, we got a landmo fight going on, so let's talk about that. PH is a little low on health, so you gotta be careful here. Not doing too badly with arrows. Although that pattern is kind of gross for what he wanted to do.
It looks tough. Please survive. Oh no.
Oh no.
There's still 2 landrollers alive.
Really not having too many problems. I'm like just sitting here like with like rapt attention trying to like watch PH's fight. Oh, now we've got just one, so he has to watch out for there we go.
Oh, we survived. Nice.
Alright.
Like, it's always scary when you're down to 1 heart. You start to immediately play safer and try to avoid death, because that would be the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, this would be a really
setting like this.
not having those problems. We'll take 20 seconds of time loss here and just hope to clean it up later. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot more like RNG heavy segments to worry about.
We can have a few more lead changes, and that's what make races exciting.
I would argue that we will, probably. So this is the Willi is doing what's called the fake flipper. Oh, I almost tried to go in the wrong one. Don't get hit here. Okay, we should be fine.
Nice. We survived on Willi's side.
Yeah, so the way that works is it's technically a sprite deletion glitch. It turns out that jumping in the water and having the splash animation play is what the game uses to check if you have flippers and are able to swim. So we jump in the water right against a screen transition, and then we swim into that transition while the splash animation is playing, and it cancels it and forgets to do that check, so we can just like go to the next screen and swim like normal. However, if you get hit there, it's very bad. Because the game doesn't know where to put you, and it puts you into a block state. And if this were a regular RTA attempt, that would be the end of the run. But for a race, it's a singular exception that we allow the runners to save and quit and continue the race as if that didn't happen. Thankfully, that didn't happen to either of them.
Yeah,
it did give PH for PH. It was nice that he was able to like make up some of the time that he lost to the Llama fight because of that. Oh, this is
the bad.
You hate to see it. This screen is so bad. This is one of the most fun super speed sections when it goes right, but it's some of the most frustrating RNG you can encounter.
Yeah, it's especially just that one RNG when the squirrel moves to the left and it stays in your path, and it can stay there in different, like it's not always the same position the squirrel is in, and you have to be ready to adjust and either move past it or wait it out until it moves again, and that's really difficult to learn.
Yeah, because you've got boulders falling down on you too, so
yeah,
it can be really dangerous, honestly. Like, almost everything in this dungeon that you actually care about deals an entire heart, and we have twice as much health as we had when we started the games. We're basically at the same place in terms of, like, fragility.
Yeah, you also see that while PH got through the mountain really nicely, he can play a lot more aggressive than Willi does. Like, Willi just was really scared of the Moldom because he was already down 3 hearts with a Sank heart. That's not a position you want to be in. We know that we will lose another heart for sure at the bomb jump. If like both runners will definitely go for the bomb jump, and there's just one.
It's essentially required, yeah.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised at all to see Willi slash the crystal switch on the 3rd floor, so that he has access to some recovery hearts in pots before going into the Moldorm fight if he needs them.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good idea when you're down a few hearts. There is one more screen also, like it's the same room where we get the Moon Pearl soon, the so-called petting zoo, and due to the Moldorms, they can do whatever they want, right? And it's so hard to react sometimes, and it's definitely possible to lose a heart, and it's not even your fault. Like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so Willi hits the switch there, PH is just gonna go. There is a heart here. So this second group of pots, you can pick up the bottom one, and there's a recovery heart there. Willi opting not to go for it. I guess we're just gonna... we're gonna do the bonk strat. Let's go. So we do that bomb jump to get over those star tiles to make it a lot easier to get up to the big chest with the Moon Pearl in it. Oh, PH, please be careful.
Oh, no, now it's scary. Now it's
yeah. Really so we got 2 hearts versus 1 heart.
Also, we have the switch turned around for on Willi's side, so he has his safety.
So we got 4 hearts. Uh-oh.
This is not a pattern that we want to see.
This fight is rather daunting to mid-level runners. Like it's really hard to do fast. And PH is getting bullied with these weird patterns. Willi's onto the enraged phase. Oh, PH manages to clean it up really nicely. Let's go.
We got both kills. No falls, no deaths. That's perfect. That's
Love to see it.
yes. And we picked up our third pendant. Now we can move somewhere and get our Master Sword. That's like the first quest that we have in this game. Because we don't know how to get past the barrier in Hyrule Castle. And now we learn how to do it.
Just go grab the cape, obviously.
Yes. There's possibly I don't have a lot of clue about major glitches, but there is possibly a way, right, to get to the cape really fast, isn't there?
There's probably a route through the EG map that would get you there, but I'm not familiar with it. RMG League win. So, as we mentioned, we're going to be doing... This is the segment where we do the rupee tree pulls, and then try and get a second tree pull. So the way that it works is after you kill one enemy, you get the first tier of tree pulls, which is just 4 green rupees. And then if you kill after you pull that tree, then it resets the counter. If you kill 4 more enemies, you get one of 2 other pulls. If you take damage during any of that, you get the second tier, which is blue rupees, which we just saw a few screens ago. And if you manage to kill 4 enemies without taking damage and pull a tree, you get the third tier, which is red rupees, which we should see. So they killed the bird, like they pulled the tree, and then they killed the bird that was right next to it. And then they killed a bird and a bush crab in the screen that they're backtracking through now. And they're going to kill this other bird right here. For the 4th one. Oh, PH loses his arrow drop. That's unfortunate. He's actually kind of low on arrows. That's gonna play into this. So now he gets 4 red rupees out of this tree. And that's all the money we need.
Yeah, Willi will get 5 more rupees in Aga Tower. You will always grab them. If you're a runner, because you want to... There is this room called Circle of Pots, and there are so many pots, and you just grab the first 2, and there's the magic 5 rupees. But we will get there soon.
Alright, I'll be interested to see how PH handles this, because we're exceptionally short on arrows. He'll probably resort to the double spin in this first room, at least. Because then I think he's back on the arrow route that he wants to be on.
What is super exciting, we had so many different things coming up, like a difficult landmore fight or a trouble at fake flipper, but we're just 1 second apart, right? This is really cool to see.
So you get to see the difference in how fast those rooms are. Willi doing the conventional speedrun strat of spinning the first guard and arrowing him down and aggroing the other one and getting a spin there. While PH had to like aggro the guards to one spot in the room so he could just do a double spin on both of them. Which was good. Like, he saved arrows and he's back on his resources as he needs to be. But it did take an extra like 2 seconds and allowed Willi to take the lead again.
Also nicely executed maze by both runners, not getting hit there. We want to conserve sword beams, because it makes the next room a bit faster. And but some runners, even really good ones like 125 runners, sword beams make those rooms maybe a bit faster, but it's also hard to execute.
Oh no! Willi had a good one. PH got a little off track of like hitting the guard with the key. All right. ph exactly on his required arrow count. He'll have 6 leaving Aga Tower, which is the minimum you need to complete Palace of Darkness.
And we're almost at the end of Aga Tower. There is something coming up that's the bane of every NMG runner. The so-called blue balls. They're annoying on every skill level. While you're not that punished by it as a newer runner, it's still very annoying to get a lot of blue balls, and it can feel like impossible to do the run.
Yeah, it's arguably a larger annoyance the further up you go, because
yeah, definitely.
the time change doesn't, like, there's nothing you can do about it. The amount of time doesn't change, and so it's a proportionally larger component of your run.
And it also will be kind of important in this race, probably. Like, depending on how big the difference is between both runners. Or they have 2 on both.
We're two for 2 on both sides.
2 to 3.
So ph is going to get an extra lightning cycle here.
To 4. To 5.
Each going for the 15 here.
2 to 6. 3 to 6.
Alright, Willi's gonna stop at 3. That's going to be his 6th energy ball attack here.
Yeah, the first energy, there's 4 attacks by Aghanim between each lightning phase. And the first attack is always an energy ball, and the second, third, and fourth attack have a 50% chance to be a blue ball. That's so many blue balls. I'm so sorry for ph.
No, ph. All right, now we've gone past the part where we're upset about it, and now we're just it's good to go. Are we gonna get the 15?
Oh no.
I think that no means we didn't get the 15.
15 blue balls are kind of an achievement for runners. Like, I think the 7 got 15 blue balls. Like, they're famously known because the chance of getting 15 blue balls is just so abysmally small. It's crazy. But 10 blue balls is also really, really rare. And yeah, you can probably do a 100 runs and not get 10 blue balls. It's really crazy.
For sure. Yeah, it's something on the order of like 2 to the 10th or something like that. I guess that's exactly what it would be. But it's like 2 to the 10th plus... It's like 2 to the 10th plus like 2 to the 11th or something like that. But yeah, so that's gonna be... That's about a minute of difference between the 2 runners now. Which feels bad, but...
It looks like it's around 40 seconds or something. For those runners right here, right now.
The reason that 11 is more common than 10 is because 11 is one of those ones that, you will necessarily stop on a lightning strike. So there's more ways to get 11 than there are to get 10. That's why 3 is more common than 4, and 7 is more common than 6 or 8. So, like I said, we're on to the Dark World now. The game can actually begin.
Yeah, this is now the game is really fun. Like every time you see people resetting in Light World, you feel for them because it's just not the. After a lot of runs, it's just not the fun part of the game. And now the fun part begins. We have Palace of Darkness. It's still one of the less exciting dungeons, but we have a cool tech like the hammer jump coming up. We have a turtle room that's really hard to play. And we also have Helmosaur, which is also a really cool boss fight, especially with the kinda newish tech. Well, I'd say newish, but every time you say newish tech, it's been around for a year or two now, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny how time works. Yeah, this is one of the bigger kind of sweat points of this segment. That hammer jump. Willie gets a pretty nice one, I think. No major issues there. It's a double pixel perfect trick, or at least horizontally. You have to line up on a specific Y coordinate and place a bomb, and then line yourself up on another specific Y coordinate relative to that bomb. There are some visual cues you can use with the menu. I think are the most common ways to do it. And it just like shoots you across the gap and clips you into that rail, and you're at just the right height to walk back through the rail without falling off. PH is gonna do.
Oh no!
Oh no! He accidentally did a 2-frame sword buffer instead of a 1-frame.
That's
I mean,
exactly
I respect it. You gotta do what you gotta do to make up time when you're this far behind.
100%.
So now we're on it.
But that's exactly the point why sword buffers are more used to save time instead of menu buffers, because in menus the time doesn't progress, so we can look for the pixel and adjust accordingly and take our time. And with sword buffers the time still goes on, and if you make a mistake and accidentally do a 2-frame buffer, then you move further, and it's while the time is still progressing, it's much harder to do.
Yeah, and react to.
Yeah.
So PH is gonna have to. He's not gonna have full health, which again, now that we have Master Sword, gives us sword beams, which is pretty important for a room coming up to save time. We're gonna go. Oh, gets the heart drop. Let's go. All right, so never mind. We're good. We're good there. And also that switch, because he didn't have enough. He either needed that heart or one of those arrow drops, because he doesn't have any arrows. So that was fortunate. Oh, Willie not getting the spin speed, but managing to take out Helma without too much difficulty. This is a really tough boss fight. Like, one, we want to go fast, so we want the fight to be over as quickly as possible, but doing that is sometimes hindered by some of the patterns you can get. Like, some of the fireballs can really get in your way and prevent you from being able to get meaningful hits without taking too much damage, because everything in the boss fight does 2 hearts. So you can only take a maximum of 3 hits and still complete the fight. And if you're a top level runner and you're skipping the Sanctuary Heart, then you can only take 2 hits. So it is really tough. PH looks to have gotten the spin speed.
Yeah, nice.
You do a spin speed glitch, but there's no stairs to give you super speed. But what it does is it changes the hammer hitbox, so that it is a lot easier to connect with Helmosaur.
One more hit. Oh no!
Oh no!
No, this is scary.
There we go. Okay.
There we go.
All right. No deaths yet. That's good. Shoutouts to Sankheart.
Yeah, Sankheart
Giving us that extra bit of buffer.
I think the Sankheart is for Helmosaur mostly, For Maya especially, and probably Hera, I'd say. Like Hera is
Yeah,
also.
Hera, Palace of Darkness, and a little bit of comfort in the Misery Mire are the main places that you want Sank Heart for, and so the 3 seconds it takes to pick it up is generally worth until you're probably at the 123 level. So now that we're through that, we're coming into the Thieves Town segment. This is the longest overworld section of the game because we have to walk the entire, like, all the way across the Dark World. Take a quick pit stop here to pick up a flute that we can use to warp around the overworld later on, as soon as we go to the Weather Vane statue in Kakariko Village and activate it.
I just never realized that this was the longest overworld section, but you're 100% correct.
Oh no!
Oh no!
PH bonked into the thing and took a hit from the Snapdragon, which does 3 hearts of damage. Yeah, it's
not a situation you want to be in, especially because there's not a good amount of recovery hearts in Thieves Town you can easily pick up.
Yeah, he might actually bonk the tree by the 3 Musketeers, because it gives you apples, which give you health the same as like recovery hearts, or just get lucky with a fairy bush, which he didn't do, so we're skipping that one. That's super OP, but also like it's only a 50-50 shot. Gets the quick warp. Alright, so now Willi is coming back, where we're gonna warp back around. We have to go the long way here because we don't have the Titan Smiths yet. I wonder where they could be.
There's the ferry that PH wants on Willi's side.
Alright, we're doing the last required spin speed of the game to get past that red spear guard. It's not actually required, but it is essentially, because otherwise that room takes like 1,000,000 years.
I think the only runner that I've seen not opt for the spin speed was a few years ago, Esther, when he was running still on the American version. I think that's the only.
I mean, if you don't have the option, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I've not seen.
He's gonna hit the guard. Okay, that worked. That worked out somehow. We're just gonna walk the long way around. Meanwhile, Willi is making pretty good progress through Thieves Town. Thieves Town is an incredibly linear dungeon in terms of like the steps that you have to accomplish to complete it. It doesn't look linear because you're like wandering around in circles and doing a little bit of backtracking, but like the progression is like go to a place, do a thing, go to another place, do a thing. And so
it's
there's
still
just
a really fun dungeon. Do you enjoy Thieves Town? I like Thieves Town a lot.
Oh,
It's
Thieves Town is one of my favorites. Yeah. Coming up, we have the attic segment where we're gonna throw a bomb onto the breakable floor. This room is really cool. There's some fun tech there to get
also,
that.
The menu buffer is much needed. Well, it's not needed, but it makes it much easier to look at the enemies there. I don't know.
I just call them crickets or gremlins.
Yeah, crickets works fine. That's exactly the word I was looking for, to be honest. And we
have a name. I don't remember what it is.
Well, I'd say it's cricket.
They look like crickets. It's fine. They act like rats, which is really annoying. But they do 2 hearts of damage, so you definitely don't want to take a hit from one of them.
Yeah, and that was the menu buffer for us, so we can watch the RNG and decide how we want to handle the room. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
Yeah, that hallway being a bully, which is not surprising. It is one of those really tough rooms. You can technically like dash using the same dash grid we talked about earlier with key dashes. You can land on like the center tile of the room and just dash all the way up. Kind of tricky to do. You know, only frame perfect and all. But even then, like the gibbos can get in your way and prevent you from being able to do that. You have to like stop and redash, and it's annoying and it's such a pain. Willi going into the blind fight now. We have a. It's a pretty straightforward fight with predictable patterns, and so as long as you stay on your whatever your personal preference is for accomplishing the fight, it should be the same every time. You know, within minor degrees of variation. Willi gets a pretty good fight.
Probably in the last phase, and it looked like it was a really good fight. Like
yeah, only a smidge of the sprite being in the light.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's exactly what we look for to determine how good was the fight. Like how far from the last hit is blind into the light, and he looked like he was very much out of the light. So
yeah, very good fight.
Now we can, while the cutscene plays, we can see PH doing the blind fight. Hopefully a good fight as well.
Yeah. There's lots of like little finicky things in Thieves Town that can kind of slow you down, especially if you like taking a hit somewhere. Because like we said, now that we're in the Dark World, everything hits like a truck, so you just have to be careful.
Still a really good fight. Slightly more into the light, but it's just a minor difference.
Yeah, we're not gonna sweat over
Yeah.
that little bit of time loss. That's inconsequential. So now that we have completed Thieves Town, which is actually the 4th dungeon in the intended order, in that dungeon we did find our Titan's Mitts, thank God, which allow us to rescue the lost dwarven swordsmith
and get the really good important sword upgrade. And one of the reasons why, I don't know why Skull Woods is the 3rd dungeon that we should enter, right? Like, what were they?
Yeah. I never figured that out either. It's not like it's the 3rd dungeon you encounter in the intended like route through the dark overworld. But we do these out of order so that we can get the sword as early as possible, and it makes a lot of boss fights, including the boss fight of Skull Woods, much easier. Oh,
really
Defense
difficult
Dash.
fight with only Master Sword, like really difficult. There is it's so much scarier in low percent or low percent legacy.
Yeah, with Master Sword it takes 8 slashes to kill Mothula, so it's not even. It's very. It's a lot more stressful. There's lots of like things happening. You get hits that don't count as hits. So having Temper Sword makes for a much more manageable fight. In fact, if you're very good at it and you get nice patterns, you can basically like it looks like you effectively one-shot the boss, basically, because you get 2 hits right off the bat, and then you get 2 more hits before the fight even has a chance to really get started.
Yeah, the fight can be over in something like around 11 seconds, and that's a really crazy fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blink and you miss it kind of thing. So now, Skullwoods is an interesting dungeon layout. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Taking a rope a hit, that's not fun. So we're coming up on another bomb jump here. Much easier one.
Oh, we got the fan stash on PH side. Nice. That's some piece of
All right,
tech.
run validated. PH is back in the lead. Are we? What are we doing? These are like worse than muffin dashes. Go. Thank you,
He's just
PH.
having fun.
Just go for it. You got to keep going. Honestly, like this run is not over. We have some of the most punishing segments still to come, and this is still anybody's race.
Yeah, especially Skywoods can be punishing. We lose just naturally due to the bomb jump and then dropping down the hole. We just naturally lose hearts, right? So and now
Yeah,
the side.
PH having a bit of a mummy party now. Ooh, that's a little scary. All right, gets through it. No problem. Speaking of Joe D'Amelio, we've got mummy Hellway.
It's always
Willi
nice.
opting to go with the Joe strat, which is only slightly slower and much easier. Gets through it. That little helmet. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. What did we say? Like 3 hearts. 3 hearts is definitely doable for this fight, but you has to be careful because everything that Mod actually does is 2 hearts, and then the spikes that start coming out of the walls is 1.
Oh, we survived. Nice. It was
very
scary.
good fight.
Scary, but the RNG was also kind to Willi. Like, Morphila can just hug the wall next to the spikes and you have trouble getting hits in. Like, you can't just slash him normally, you would have to opt to go to poke dashes in that RNG. But he didn't have to. He could just easily slash Morphila and survive this fight with a very low amount of hearts.
Yeah, PH also in a little bit of a slight cause for concern with his health right now, but as long as we make it through, should be fine.
It's the same amount of hearts that Willi entered, and I hope that PH gets kind of a similar RNG, that he can just kill the boss easily. I would really hope for that.
Yeah, also going with Joe Mummies.
It's just this strat, like it's a really, really amazing, cool strat, and it works fine.
Yeah, it has no business being as fast as it is for how much easier and less stressful it can be.
Oh, bless RNG. Double it. Nice. Nice.
Okay. There we go. Very good. Even better fight on PH's side, which is what he needs.
Yeah, it allows him a few seconds to catch up. He will need more, because there's still a cutscene playing now, and it's around 45 seconds? Something like that.
47, yeah.
But
yeah, Willi is on his way to go get flippers.
Also, an important medallion.
Oh yeah, well, I guess we kind of need Quake, I guess.
Yeah, we kind of need it. Oh, I wish we didn't need to play Turtle Rock, right?
Yeah, if only we could skip dungeons, guys. Can't believe they make us go through this whole rigmarole.
What a crazy game.
Uh-huh. Into Zora's domain. Yeah, now we've got this is a really cool screen. Because it's really movement intensive. Because you can't swim yet, so you have to like navigate this meandering path. It's a really fun bit of tech to learn.
It's also one of the hardest screens, I'd argue, to like do correctly on a high level setting. It's kind of like there's just tiny movement errors that will make you fall or drop into the water, and that already costs like more than half a second or something. Like
yeah, and it's also completely non-intuitive where you can actually stand to like plan out your dash lines.
Yeah, we see it on Willi's side. He's just walking over the bluish water and like it looks like he would fall into it and lose time, but it's not. It just looks crazy.
Yeah, the boundary tiles between light blue and dark blue are actually tiles you can stand on, but they're not like the actual like light blue versus dark blue pixels don't line up with what the tiles are underneath. So you can effectively like walk on water, it looks like. But that's what makes it tricky. But also it's really satisfying when you learn to do it correctly and you just like shoot through this room as fast as possible.
Also, Willi losing half a heart, that's not what he wants, and it also allows PH to catch up. We really like our SWAT beams here in Ice Palace, and
yeah, Ice 2 is a room that is made much faster with just beaming down the jellies, because you don't want to. They can electrocute, and you have to like actually go all the way over on that side of the room and hit them, and it just wastes a bunch of time. But as long as this bombable floor goes well, shouldn't be any problems.
yeah, this one looked really good.
There's gonna be a heart refill down here that will let us have sword beams for the next room. So that should make this this conveyor a lot easier. We're just gonna beam that guy. Take a damage boost right there. Oh, he got just the wrong pixel for the key. Oh, now you see why this room can be such a pain if you don't have proper health or if you get off script. So coming right off of that into the Ice Palace bomb jump, the infamous Ice Palace bomb jump. Looks like we're on a good pixel. There we go. Doing that bomb jump right there breaks this dungeon wide open and lets us skip like somewhere between a half and 2/3 of it. Because it's basically like one giant like switch puzzle where you have to like do the whole. Oh, I like that. I like the using the dash to like pause and get the Pengators into the correct position. That was really slick.
I just watched PH there. I wish I could have seen it.
So you walk into that room and there's like a pattern that on the floor that can help you like line up. Like you have to like take advantage of ice physics to like get onto like a certain line where you're moving like down left, and then you just like release a slash at the right time and it just hits all the Pengators and they all die. Willi was like a little bit ahead of the script and just like paused for like just a moment with by charging a portion of a dash, and it looked really cool. I've never seen that before.
They're a bit bullied in the bombable floor room.
Gets much nicer RNG though, so has a less of a disaster in that room. It's amazing how many. Okay, there we go. I was very concerned about PH's placement of that bomb jump. Question in chat about the discrepancy in time. Yeah, 10 blue balls is the story of this race so far.
Yeah, 10 blue balls. It's so rare, and it just happened to PH. Besides that, we have a really good race with nice nice. Really cool spread.
We missed Willi's ideally executed Cold Strike, so maybe we'll talk about PH's.
It was one dash.
Oh god, PH almost gets him Andy's himself.
It will be scarier now. It's not that scary with having on one-shot HP, but like one mistake. It's not something we want to see.
Yeah, with 6 hearts in this fight, he should be fine. Off to a good start. Yeah,
nice.
There we go.
Nice. One poke.
Doesn't quite get the full sync, so he's going to take some lag frames from the explosions, but not a big deal. The scary part's over. Gets through it. Still a little over a minute behind, but not the worst thing. There's still a couple of points where, you know, there's some really dangerous things coming up, like the end of Misery Mire, the entirety of Turtle Rock. But yeah, Cold Stare is another like big reset point in the run. Not only do you have to like essentially do all of Ice Palace all over again, but you use all of your magic to start the fight, and you don't get a magic refill when you continue from a game over, so you have to do something to replenish that, so that you can even get into the dungeon again, because you have to kill the Freezor.
Yeah, just
And
this
if you don't
hard.
have any magic, you can't use fire, so that's not good.
It's just disheartening to if you die there, you don't know how to continue, or if you want to continue the run.
Yeah,
Like,
in a race setting, it's especially tough.
when you're just doing an attempt and maybe die at Turtle Rock or Mire, you can just re-enter the dungeon and just finish the run for good measure. But when you die at Ice Palace, you just want to reset, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure. So now we're going back and picking up the second dungeon, Swamp Palace, that we skipped over earlier. One, because flippers were like way out of the way, and two, because Tempered Sword makes the Argus fight at the end, a lot easier. Again, a recurring theme of most of the bosses in this game.
It's also a nice dungeon to just pick your breath, and while it's hard to... it's not an easy dungeon to execute time-wise, right? But it's easier in terms of just getting through it. Like,
yeah, you're in a lot less like mortal danger.
Yeah.
That crab. Yeah, we have a bit of a divergence here because I think
Billy didn't pick up Ice Road. Yes, he will pick it up after Maya.
Yeah, that's the common shopping route. These are probably the two most common shopping routes, I think. You either get everything up front or you split them. Ether and Swamp Palace and Ice Rod and Mire, or Turtle Rock.
I think the only difference is that when you pick up Ice Rod later, there is one menu that's just a tiny bit faster. A menu in Maya where you move from a medallion to the fire rod. It's just a tiny bit faster to just press left once instead of twice. That's the only difference. So you can just do whatever you feel like the most. Like most runners tend to choose that at the start of when they learn the speedrun, if they remember to pick up the icy rod in the Turtle Rock split, and if they manage to forget about it, they'll just be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna write it in my splits, I'm gonna do it early, and then I just can't forget it. That's probably
there is a third less common route, which is long mire, which is do both of the things in the mire split. But very few people do that, and then I'm a weirdo who splits them up completely different from everybody else.
How do you do it if you announce it like that?
I do Ether and Swamp and Ice Rod and Mire instead of after Mire.
Ah, okay.
Because I started doing Long Mire, and then I didn't like doing Ether and Mire, so I just moved it to Swamp. But I kept Ice Rod and Mire for some stupid reason.
Longmire is so scary. Back then, when I was learning it, it was established to just always do Longmire, but people found out really fast that it's cool to have sword beams for Maya too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that people did that and changed it, because it's just much better and easier.
Yeah, the reason you do Long Mire is because if you get hit getting the Ether Medallion, then you go to Ice Rod and you can kill the crabs to replenish your hearts if you need to. But I guess most people these days do Long Swamp or split them up, where you do Ether and Swamp and just get the Ice Rod before going up the mountain. So, like we said, Swamp is a lot of like meandering around. Nothing is super dangerous because this is the second Dark World dungeon, and we are effectively over-leveled for the enemies that we're facing here.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. We're really over-leveled with Tempered, with so many hearts.
Yeah, you're not really in generally speaking, you're not really in any danger of dying, but there is a lot of stuff that can get in your way and slow you down and be frustrating.
Just in theory, we'd also have blue mail if we were a casual runner and doing it in that way, so we would be even more over leveled.
Yeah, we could also have that just be impervious to almost all damage. Willi getting the good pixel to nudge out of the slope room there. I don't know what you call that room. There's a couple of slope dashes you do, and if you do them right, then you don't have to stop and walk out of the door like some pleb. All right. Not too much trouble with the Argus fight. A 1 cycle.
Yeah, that's
No
what
fire
we
rod.
want to see, 1 cycle and Argus not moving. There's the
Yeah.
way to make it a 0 cycle, with just that Argus uses up 3 movements and never spins around his puffs, but it's extremely hard and difficult to pull off, and you need to be consistent at it to like incorporate it in your run, and like if you mess it up, you just you will probably do movements after spinning around his puffs, and then you lose time, and that's what you want to avoid. You can just make a consistent 1 cycle.
Yeah, I mean it's actually really interesting. I'm not sure if Peach is gonna go for it or not. I don't remember what
Is
strat
he
he
able
likes
to pull it
use.
off? Nice. I would look forward to it if he can pull it off. That's
I'd like to
so
see it. The way that it works is you pull your sword out, and then you do what's called another. We didn't talk about item dashing back in the beginning of Thieves Town.
we should.
But similar to spin speed, you can do more multiple actions at the same time, which is in this case using an item and dashing. What it does in the Argus fight, it activates the super speed state, but you're already holding your sword out, so it gives you a dash hitbox on your sword instead of the poke hitbox. Now it looks like we're just doing the other thing, and it allows you to you don't have to like swing your sword after you snare one of the puffs with the hook shot. You just poke it, and then if you're fast enough and you fire the hook shot before you put your sword away, then your sword will stay out, and you can continue this cycle over and over again until you kill all the puffs. And that's how you do it fast enough that Argus doesn't get to the spin phase. And for a long time, I'm told that for a long time we thought that you had to like do an item dash every time you fired the hook shot, but it was just the first one to activate the glitch state, and the rest of it is just holding B and pushing Y at the right time. It's really fun to do. It's exceptionally intricate and highly technical, but it's very satisfying to pull it off.
Also on Willi's side, we have entered Meyer. I call Meyer basically an auto-scroller part, because a lot of the rooms are easily played, and he is currently in one of the harder rooms where you could have done a strat called Beat the Fireball, where you have to try really hard to catch, how do you call it? Be faster than the fireball. You did a little safety there, but
Oh no, Willi!
one of the few parts where you just try to save time in Myra. There's a lot of screens that
That's
are
why
just
you fire out that berry, because it's the red one that gives you the babies.
Yeah.
If it gets in your way. But not a big deal. We have Sankart, so the runners have a little bit of cushion. Like you said, there's not a whole lot that's like dangerous in Mire. It's a pretty straightforward dungeon, but we do have to be careful about managing our health and not like making any mistakes, because we have a nice quick kill strategy for Vitreous that relies on damage boosting through a lot of stuff, and so we're just gonna like face tank a bunch of damage that we need to have essentially full health to get through. So
Basically, you want to enter the fight with 5 at least, or more.
5 is the absolute minimum that you can do the fight on.
You would probably not want to enter with 5 health, more like with 6 or 7 health. So you're allowed to just make a tiny movement adjustment.
Yeah, so here comes, we have 11 hearts right now, and in order to get this key, we're going to take 3 hearts walking on the spikes to get it. So we have 8, we can have 9, so Willi should be comfortable in this fight. ph is the bad Fire Snake RNG.
Yeah, when you're getting the bad fire RNG, beating the fireball is just not possible. You just have to wait and just walk behind the fire snake. Also getting hit by it.
Having fun. Alright, so coming up we have a really cool segment called Spooky Action at a Distance. I think Willi set it up correctly with the creating a dust sprite by charging a dash before putting down that Samaria block. Yeah, you can't, well, we can't hear it. I assume that the restream can hear that he shot a fire rod at a spike and now an anti-fairy, and it hits a switch, and you can see right there at the top of Willi's screen that he hits a switch with the fire rod even though he's like 12 times down from it. And so that's what we did. We set a variable in memory earlier in the split, and then we did nothing throughout the dungeon that affected that variable. And what that variable does is determine the position of the splash effect of the fire rod. And so it like offsets it vertically by a bunch and lets us like shoot switches through walls or just empty space.
Also nice hero cycle on Willi's side. What we want to avoid during the Vitreous fight is that he does never shoot lightning. And we kill all the small eyes before he does that. And it was a really clean fight on Willi's side. Looking forward to ph also doing a clean fight, hopefully. We need him to catch up for the race. But it's we're gonna be really tough with only 2 dungeons left, like Turtle Rock and GT. While they're being the most splits where you can lose the most time on, there's not much more happening.
Yeah, alright, so we're gonna skip the dash out. That's fine. And now we'll get to watch ph do the same thing. Yeah, like you said, the Vidi fight is a little scary. Even still at this level, I think. So we get one hit. Meanwhile, Willi's going to get his ice rod out of this cave over here. ph doing the last spooky shot. Nice job on getting through that. That strat is it's really fun. But it does, if you make a mistake somewhere, it's annoying. It can cost upwards of 12 cents to like go back and do things like the normal way. Oh no, he misses an eyeball.
Yeah, we get
right.
one.
Not too bad. Just a 1 cycle, not a big deal.
But besides that, I think that pH's mire was a bit cleaner. It's just that 1 cycle it's probably this kind of the same mire that both played, like time-wise.
Yeah, so now we got one more cutscene, and then ph gets to go straight up the mountain. So he's not as far behind as he looks at this point. But still probably over a minute of difference separates these runners, so that could be...
I'd say it's around 2 minutes, probably less than 2 minutes, just a tiny bit.
Well, we're coming up on... If he didn't have Ice Rod, he's at about the 130 point right here. Willi is in this split. almost 130, 120. So about a minute and 20 seconds separates these runners. Can we get... We're gonna go for it, I'm pretty sure. Yep, we're gonna get a couple of retries on this super speed. No, we're not going for Waffle House drive-through, which is a fun and almost completely unnecessary strat, but it looks really cool and it is really fast. Were you just like super speed all the way through all the stuff?
Like, if you see the possibility of doing Waffle House, you just want to do it because it's one of the coolest threads executed. There is no excuse not going for it. Besides going for PB, obviously, but yeah. I would go for it. It's so cool.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Willi missed his chest grab there, so just mirroring out of the crystal roller room is a totally reasonable choice, especially being a minute ahead. You don't want to risk like having a problem in chomps, and this way you effectively have like a whole extra chomp hit if something were to go wrong. I'm pretty sure I think both runners have their variety prize pack intact.
There should be.
I don't know. Willi got no drops, so we guess we'll find out later.
That's rare. To not have a single drop at all. It would have allowed him if he got the heart to make up. He had really good chomp RNG, and the room could be a tiny bit faster played with Sword Beams intact, but really well played.
Yeah, not bad. So nice berry to stay out of PH's way. I don't know if that was just habit or what. Willi did not need to pick up that arrow pot.
Willi picked it up. He picked up the arrow pot, didn't he?
There's the fairy that we don't need, so we're just gonna skip it.
PH going for the damage. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's scary now.
A little bit. All right, we're gonna take the magic refill. The magic refill is totally reasonable because now we need to have. We are going to be completely reliant on Samaria block to get through a bunch of the puzzles in this dungeon. We do have the fairy drop coming up next time, as long as we don't take a hit here. All right, bait the.
I'm not getting good.
Excuse us.
Can you please move, chomps? That's what? Chomps?
all right, we're out. We're out. Yeah, that guy just was not having it. Somehow Willi got beams again. So that was nice. Able to do the crystal roller room quickly
so
and easily.
With beams. It's faster and just cooler.
PH, on the other hand, did absolutely need that arrow drop required, essentially.
Hopefully it gets an RNG where it can pick up the fairy now. Doesn't look like it. It doesn't even get.
Doesn't even get it. All right, cool. Cool video game.
Thank you, game. Like, it's just called it's just. In Germany, we'd say Betrug, which means like we get like betrayed or something. Like it's just unfair.
All right, going for the safe peg maze strat. Well done. Not picking up the recovery heart. Don't want beams in this fight. So try next. Oh, there goes our. Maybe we get the fairy. All right. So Trinex has, as its name suggests, 3 heads that we have to deal with. Oh, PH having. Okay, there we go.
It's down.
Willi, on the other hand, making this look really easy. And it's really not, like, in terms of, like, danger and technical difficulty, this isn't one. It's not the most difficult boss fight, even though it is the last, like, dungeon boss.
I think there are 2 different Trinex fights. Like a Trinex fight on Willi's side, where we have a lot of hearts, and we just play it as fast as possible. And there's a Trinex fight where you are in danger of being one hit from death, and that's a totally different fight. Like, believe me, this is. It can get really scary soon on PH's side. He is
PH
now
gonna
one hit
okay.
away. This will be a
Okay.
vastly different fight for him.
I was afraid for a second we were gonna have the mythical like 4-hit Dark Maze. Like PH accidentally fell in the drink at the start, so you go from only taking 1 intended hit of damage from the fire bars to 3. So it needs to be a little careful, because most of the things the Trinex fight do 4 hearts of damage. So we're probably gonna kill that guy, do this nice iframes through that maze. We're gonna get this recovery heart 100%, because now we can be a little more comfortable with it. Like you said, this fight can be a little dangerous.
Yeah, just a tiny mistake, and this fight is super scary. You don't want to die here. It just takes so long to get back there, and it's so disheartening.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, now we need to be careful.
Yeah, we're 1 hit away. Please make it.
I don't like this positioning.
Oh, that
Oh
was
my-
so close! It was so close. I'm glad he
Okay, okay, PH.
It looked like he got hit, but he
He
magically
managed to do it. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how that works, but sure.
Oh, calculated. Meanwhile, we entered the best dungeon there is on Willy's side. Like,
Oh, uh-oh.
oh no.
Not that one. We need, oh, not that one. All right, we're going back. We're going to try this again.
And again.
It's amazing how, like, once you get off script, your brain has to, like, adapt to everything that's happening now. And you just lose tons of time. But Willy has plenty of time to spare, barring any actual, like, major mistakes. Yeah, you can still hit the switch. If you line up a Samaria block at just the right spot, you can, like, explode it, and the things will go past the blocks and hit the switch. But I'm super not surprised that after trying to do that once and being like, you know what, this is not worth, I'm just gonna go back and do it all over again. Is a perfectly reasonable thought, or, you know, frame of, like, the way he thought through how to solve the puzzle.
Well, he solved it. And we're moving on to a so-called refight. We may have seen this fight before. So-called Armos fight. We saw this one in the Eastern Palace, but now there's a twist to it, and it's some icy floor.
Yeah, this is one of the funner fights, in my opinion.
It's definitely more fun than the first one, yes.
The first one's just like, come on. Get that guy out of here. Peach doing the peg switch puzzle. There we go.
Having time on it. This was much better because it was first try.
Yeah, so now that Willy has the big key, we're on our way up the tower. We're going to be doing a lot more, a lot fewer puzzle rooms and a lot more, like, combat intensive. The first 5, actually, in the climb proper, are known as the Gauntlet, because it really is just a gauntlet of a bunch of kill rooms and progressively more devious, like, hazards of things, or you have to, like, kill all the enemies in the room. Some with some ice blocks, some moving hazards, BMOSs to, like, really just, like, mess up your day. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the coolest segments of the entire game.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, PH gets through the bombable floor, has to pick up those arrows in order to like complete this Armos fight reasonably. Does take a hit from the Anti-Fairy, so we'll have to remember to refill his magic.
And the God RNG in the second gauntlet room, nice. Go for a really good GT.
Oh, that was really good. Good cleanup. Now G4, more conveyors and ice blocks. Handles it pretty well. And G5 is all ice. And Stalfos, just in case you forgot how annoying those enemies can be. Which is why
Also, the Beamos are so annoying there. Really getting bullied by the Beamos and the,
got the arrow kill, though. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And it also saves magic. So you can have another shot on, like if you miss it during land molos or something.
Yeah, we will have a an extra shot here for the torch puzzle coming up.
Now we move through the hardest part of the dungeon on Willi's side, while PH is moving towards the gauntlet.
These Wizard's rooms are some of the coolest looking, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are.
They're really not that difficult. It just looks so cool to just like put a Mario block down and kill them all at the same time.
Yeah, that's the cool part, yeah. I 100% agree. If you think this is fun, just try this for yourself, right? Like, it's...
Yeah, it's really, it's pretty apparent. Like, there's nothing, it's all surface level stuff too. So like, you just see somebody, oh, I put a Mario block here and I do this and all the wizards die. That's really cool.
Also the crazy good RNG on G2 for PH, that's cool to see.
Nice.
Also the arrow kill, nice.
Yeah, he used the menu buffer to like determine if he needed to do a fire rod shot. Okay, Willi getting bullied by the Anti-Fairy.
Totally bullied.
Alright, nice landmo pattern for PH, getting through the room very quickly. Meanwhile, Willi taking down Moldorm 2.
And moving on to Aga 2. The better
Yeah,
Aga.
there's a theme here. It's the second dungeon, boss dungeon of the game. Like final boss dungeon of the game. So this time, this go around, we don't have to worry about blue balls as much. Because we're actually going to have all of these like phantom copies that will give us energy balls. So we can try and, if we're lucky, oh no, never mind. We can try and finish this fight in 2 cycles.
That was the second cycle. Now we're moving on to the first.
Alright, so we got one. It still takes 6 hits to finish the fight.
3, 4. Oh no, not a fourth. Not a fourth. Now we have 4.
Oh man, now we're in Oko for the Ganon fight, which is a little scary. Yeah, now they're out of sync, so we're just gonna do like a 1-1-1-1-1-1-1 kind of thing.
Yeah, but he still was allowed to do it, but it allowed PH to catch up, and maybe one mistake.
Yeah, if PH has a good Ganon fight, he is potentially within you know, a discrepancy of warps. He's hitting the validation chest.
Run, elevated. I think it's mostly no meme from back then when people weren't streaming. I heard that story, right? Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's like one of those old wives' tales where they say, like, oh, just get the chest at the top of GT to validate that you're playing the same seed as the other person.
Yeah, you can...
As if the rest of the one didn't validate that it was, in fact, the same seed.
Yeah. Nice first cycle, we got 3 hits.
Alright, so 5 there. Almost guaranteed 3 cycle here for PH. Very good. Still a bit behind, but I don't want any bad juju here. But like Ganon falls are a thing. He's low on health. Like we still got to play this all the way out to the very end. Oh, we don't want the bombs. We don't need those. Oh, we're just gonna skip that. All right, got torch glitch. That's good.
Meanwhile, we're in the same fight. This race actually got a lot closer now.
Uh-oh, that's early. Yeah. Still fire red dash soft lock. I don't think that's gonna happen, Chex. Alright, there we go. That was the last of the 12 hits needed for phase 4. Get your GG's in for Willi.
GG when once we enter the GG's. Now we did it. GG's, really nice. We'll finish. And now we can watch ph doing a crazy good Ganon fight.
Holy cow.
Oh, that was scary. But
I actually like that, to put him in a different spot on the cycle, allow him to get back to synchronized triples.
there's some runners who feel more comfortable doing the fire rod shot not close next to the torch, but like where ph did it.
Yeah, you just have to be aware of like the travel time of the fire rod shot. There are some spots where you don't want to stand, because there's like effectively like a lockout period when the torch goes out.
They don't pay attention to the torch themselves getting out, but they pay attention to the tile falling down, and that's
yeah. The torch going out coincides with the tiles falling along the left edge, so you can watch them and know based on where the tiles are falling, how to time that fire rod shot. It's not as magic as it sounds, but that was impressive. He just had that torch out for like 1 frame. Meanwhile, ph has finished the fight.
GG's, ph. GG's. This was very much closer than I thought. Like a really cool race.
Yeah, we'll see if we are gonna get any of our runners in here for an interview.
Hopefully, let's go.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get them in here once we can pull them in from the waiting room. Speaking of, there's ph.
Hey, ph, GG's.
Hey, GG.
GG's, dude. So we know the big story of this race. Aga, please.
How many? Just out of curiosity, how many blue balls, Willi, did you get?
Willi had.
Willi is not here yet, but he did get 3 blue balls, so there was a 7 blue ball difference. It's just crazy. It's so rare to see 10 blue balls, Wyatt. Like, wow, that's.
Oh, I was so mad. I've gotten like 9 and 10 like once or twice, but I've never gotten it where it was all at the start. I was so pumped. I was like, let's go. 15,
Could this be the 15? Let's go. Yeah, that's where we were at as well.
Because
you were actually. I think you guys traded the lead a couple of times throughout the light world.
Yeah, you were
interesting.
Going out of the escape with a 554 or something, I think. And we had a 557. And,
yeah, and then Willi had a better landmo fight, but then you actually took the lead back with a very clutch. I was watching Willi try not to die, and you clutched out the Moldorm fight and came out ahead.
Moldorm's fight were super scary on both sides. Like Willi had to use the switch. It was crazy.
Oof.
Yeah, we're now joined by Willi. GG's. Willi.
GG's. Yeah.
Oh man.
Finally done,
Times.
yes.
That was a trip.
Yeah. we were going through all of the lead changes that happened in the light world because there weren't any in the dark world. It was interesting, like having PH was out in front ahead, and then you had a much better Landmo fight, and then just trying not to die in all of Tower of Hera enabled PH to get ahead again, and then PH was 10 for 10 on blue balls going through the Aga fight. So
shit.
It was great.
That was unfortunately kind of the point where we're like, okay, well, this has been fun.
I mean, I had a good time. I was like, okay, I'll be totally honest. I was kind of like, you know what? This could be some like stupidly high number of blue balls, and I'll just and then I can just start memeing in the dark world. I had a great time. I hope everyone else did too.
You not only muffin dashed, you did. You not only muffin dashed, you just did like stutter steps all the way up to the rupee chest.
Hey man, sometimes you just feel like dancing. All right, what can I say?
I got you. You did have some really really good fights in the dark world.
I did, dude. I like out of nowhere, randomly, I had like a really 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 good like mid game, like just completely. Basically from Skull, like after the because I screwed up the mummy room, but then from that point on, from like the rest of Skull through the end of Swamp was all pretty much about as well as I think I can play.
Mm-hmm. I mean, same with Thief's Town, right? You took a Snapdragon hit, but then the rest of the dungeon was like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played really well considering you lose 3 hearts at the start. It's so scary.
Oh well, so here's the I was super excited to race Willi because obviously we've been both in the NMG community for a while, and I know he's better than I am. He has a better PB, so I was just pumped to come in here, have a good time, and I had some really good splits, so I was really happy.
Yeah, your Maya was really good. Like both of your Mayas were great. Willi had a slightly worse Mire in general, but a 0 cycle, and you had a better Mire, but a 1 cycle, so it was probably even. It looked really cool.
Yeah. Trying to think of almost every boss fight was like a nail biter. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Which was super fun. We have a clip in chat of your Trinex fight, PH.
Oh,
we were commenting on how we weren't sure you were going to survive the spin attack at the end.
Yeah, neither was I. I wasn't sure either, to be honest.
It just happened. It was magic.
Oh, hey, gotta give the people what they want, right? This
gotta put on a show.
Yeah.
Especially
Willi, how was your run?
My run, well, I was brain AFK in Hera. I don't know. It begins with the fake flipper. I stand there and what? Wait, something isn't right, or I don't know. And then the whole Hera split was a mess. I don't know. This was not good. Then it was okayish, I think, but some splits. Well, in every split, things happened again and again and again and again, and I don't know how can I fix that. I was scared because in every split things happened. In pot, I was going for the sexy statue, and then I pushed the statue too far left, and the thing, the door wasn't open, so I have to put it back.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that
was painful. Literally never happened in my life. Yeah, and I don't know. The rest was okay, but the GT, after the what is this room?
After the spike skip.
Yeah, the spike skip after spike skip. Something was not right, and I have to fix it and lose 30 seconds, I guess. I don't know. It was very rough.
Oh gosh.
And yeah.
Oh wow.
But overall, okay.
Also, both of your skull woods were like nail biter is a really good word for it.
Yeah.
Because both of you entered the fight with 3 hearts, and it was just, please don't give them bad RNG, Mofula, please. And you both had a really good fight, so that was really cool to see.
Yeah, I was definitely worried about that. I think at that point I had finished every boss on like heart beeps up to that point.
Yeah, Helma too, right? Helma too.
Yeah, because I went in with full health, and then I just blew the second phase, and it was like, oh, okay, I guess we might die here. Okay, we survived. Cool. That was like kind of.
Yeah, you were on one heart for the end of the Helma fight. I think Blind was the only one that was like reasonably like normal.
That's true.
Moth,
I've heard Blind
was,
can be a scripted fight, so.
Yeah, Moth was tough. Actually, Coldster was pretty ordinary. I think I don't remember any like major problems that you had there.
I think
got a little.
I think both of you had a good. Yeah.
I was slow, and I got lucky because if I'd been, because I almost got hit with the ice, it just missed me. And I wouldn't have died, like I had enough health, but it would have definitely made the fight. Could have slowed it up, and then once the
you would have gone off script. So, but you didn't, and that was very good.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I think
I saved the sub 90 with 10 blue balls. I can't be that mad.
Nope, that's perfectly respectable.
Sorry for that, man. 10 is way too much. Way too much, dude. See.
It's good. Frankly, it wouldn't. I mean, even if I had gotten 3, you still would have beaten me. So I feel fine. It honestly, in some ways, it probably helped because I definitely relaxed once I got into like the Dark World a little.
Yeah.
I mean, just based on the finish times, you pretty much kept pace with Willi the entirety of the Dark World. You are always around like a minute, somewhere between like a minute and a minute 30 behind. And so finishing 116.
Yeah, that's always exciting to see people making mistakes at different parts, but in the end, it always ends up at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Like right at the start, when Hera, your streams just converged again, right? Like one mistake after the Landmo fight, or in that Landmo fight versus the fake flipper fiasco. And then after that, both streams were exactly in the same room again.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out.
I have to rewatch.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I am super. Also, like, I don't know, Yarok, Skipsy, thank you both so much for calming. I know, especially this is kind of, I think some people were saying it was a little bit of an early time for some, but I'm super pumped to watch this back because you're both amazing. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I saw it and I was like, oh, nobody's signed up for this. Why? I can do that.
I'm glad you signed up with me. I'm very scared to calm on my own when you're not native English. So I had a great time with you, and I hope we did. When you watch it back, you have as much fun as we both did.
Yeah, this was a really good race to watch. I'm glad we got to do this. Shoutouts to the ZSR crew for all of the restreams of the entirety of the league event, and the organizers of the event itself. Like this whole NMG league is it's a treasure, honestly. Like it's a lot of fun to participate in. It's a lot of fun to be around and watch people play a bunch of NMG and get all of these really nice races.
I just can't agree more. I'm so thankful for community events like this. This is very cool. It brings the community together, and yeah, just like Spleeby writes, I love Zelda. I love Zelda too.
We all love Zelda.
Yeah, thank you, Yarok. Thank you, Skipsy, for commentating. It was very fun. Thank you, ph. Was an honor to run against you. It was really an honor. I was glad.
Oh
And
my God. Yeah, thank you.
yeah,
too.
and thank you for everything who helps me with this game a lot. I can say a few names, I think. Yeah, Ray, thank you, Ray, man. Thank you, Swunch. Thank you, Timon. Thank you, Skipsy. Yeah, and yeah, thank you for the CSR restream that this is possible. Thank you, Fox, for the leak. It was very, very fun and sweaty. And yeah, hope you have all a good day, a good Sunday, and we as.
Oh my gosh, Fox! This is thanks to Fox and all the people who put the league on, all the admins, ZSR, and then of course all the comms. And Willi, congratulations, Eastern Palace, you won.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, dude, thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Let me add my GGs as well. Please, if you're not following either runner, for some reason, go fix that now. Willi and PH, as well as our commentators today, letting me sit back here and watch basketball for 2 hours. I appreciate that. Yurak and Skipsy. And then there was one. There was one race left in League of Season 3. Come join us, the main channel, Zelda Speedruns at 5 p.m. Who the hell's racing? It's Bitey and somebody. Who's racing? I forget.
Oh, it's Ari.
I think it's there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Gee. Yeah, good job me forgetting world record holder, yes. Yeah, Bitey and Ari fighting it out for the Tower of Hera title. Plenty else going on ZSR, so please keep an eye on the schedule if you'd like. Any final thoughts before we head on out for the moment?
None for me. I think we've all covered it. We've given Fox a lot to think about as he goes on vacation, well-deserved vacation. So thank you again to everybody that helps do these things.
Yeah, thanks for me as well. It was so much fun participating and like commentating today. And well, I'd say see you in the next one.
All right, till next time, all stay safe. Hope to see you back here soon. And have a great rest of the day, everyone. See you.